also comes challenges. Because of the fact that we are neighboring our Uganda as a country, we have various challenges related to the fishing industry. Again, I needed to say that this is an extremely important region when it comes to fishing. And because of that, we have the persistent challenge of insecurity issues that come with fishermen operating in the lake, and also our relationship with our neighbors in Uganda particularly. This is not just a Kisumu problem, it's a problem affecting all our fishermen in Busia, Siaya, Kisumu, Homa Bay, up to Migori. As a county and regional security team, we have agreed that the presence of our security officers in the lake must be enhanced. And that presence is not just about numbers, but also about equipment. Thankfully, His Excellency the President, in the modernization program for security sector, has set aside resources that will ensure that we have more boats and other important equipment that will help our officers to man the border in the lake and to work in joint collaboration with our neighbors in Uganda and Tanzania. Let me just say this, that we have a joint cooperation agreement with the Uganda government, or Uganda as a country. Recently, President Museveni was here for a review of that joint cooperation agreement, and there are issues that were agreed on, particularly when it comes to fishing resources. We all know that fish migrate from one part of the lake to the other. And most cases, the fish is breeding happens in Kenyan side, and then the fish grow on the other side of Uganda. So that is why it necessitated a joint working arrangement between the Kenyan authorities and the Ugandan authorities, so that we can manage that ecosystem in a manner that is, because you can't give fish passport, you can't tag them, and you can't call them my fish. So it's important to have a way of working. It is the opposite of Lake Turkana. In Lake Turkana, the fish is breeding happens in the Ethiopian side, and the fish moves towards Kenya, and then you have so many fishermen from the Ethiopian side coming to part of Kenya. Again, that arrangement that we will have here, we must replicate it in the Turkana, Lake Turkana. So as part of our Jukwaa la Usalama engagement, one of the issues that we are flagging out nationally is how to manage and enhance our presence in our lakes. And the Coast Guard must be strengthened, and we must strengthen our border patrol unit to make sure that we have a proper presence and proper regulation. We also encourage, in our Jukwaa la Usalama, we've come to the conclusion that security is better managed by involving the stakeholders, and particularly the local community. So the beach management units must be involved in our security meetings and must be co-opted to security meetings at the sub-county level, so that then they can give proper information and give ideas on how best we can keep our lake secure and ensure that our fishermen are secure, and also enhance our diplomatic relationship with our neighboring countries to make sure that we are peacefully managing our lake. In fact, and in this region and western region, we have one unique challenge, the question of goons and gangs, and particularly the criminal activities that are perpetuated by gangs and goons, and taking control of our communities, including in our rural areas. Let me say this, that as a security team and as the government of Kenya, the National Police Service cannot abdicate its responsibility to civilians. It's the duty of the National Police Service to provide security. And therefore, we have requested our leaders to work with us to make sure that civilians do their civilian work and the security issues are done by security officers. All those criminal activities that are being undertaken in groups in the name of gangs, whether you're calling yourselves 42 Brothers, China Squad, Mbogi, all those groups, we have to be very honest to ourselves. This is government, civilized government of Kenya. All young people who are struggling with unemployment, we must find other ways of engaging them, not to carry crude weapons like knives, machetes, among others. We must ensure that all of us are submitting to the authority under the Constitution, under the National Police Service, to make sure that it keeps our country safe. I think that it is in the interest of any person who is in leadership in this region, the interest of the chiefs and assistant chiefs, that we are going to engage, that this region becomes a place where democracy flourishes. No one will use force to force or goons to force somebody to say or believe on certain ideas of another person. And also, we cannot do legalized criminal activities by using goons. Isiolo also is part of this network, because we know the people who have been organizing to ferry goons from other cities to Isiolo and other places. So from a national perspective, we are going to have one clear direction how to dismantle these gangs, and particularly their financial status, the people who are financing, and the people who are hiring them must be engaged to peacefully exit that business, or the police will take the necessary legal action. I want to thank. The other phenomenon that is serious here is the gender-based violence. Sexual and gender-based violence is very prevalent. In this county, the national average is 32%. In this county, it's 36%. And in this region also is higher. You are aware that yesterday there was a girl who was defiled and brutally murdered in Migori. And the Inspector General of Police has already sent us a team from the headquarters to support the county team to make sure that we get to the bottom of that act that happened yesterday. But this is not just one case, like the case of Migori yesterday. It's happening all over. This county, as I said, 36%. Part of the reasons why it's prevalent is because of repugnant practices, including disco matanga, including wife inheritance, including issues that related to broken family ties. And this as the people who defile our children are those whom they expect greater protection. Again, we want to ask non-governmental organizations, churches, our chiefs, our assistant chiefs, to raise greater awareness through barazas, to also the community to cooperate with us to make sure that these criminals are apprehended, and the National Police Service must take very stern action against this issue. Again, because it's widespread in many parts of the country, we are going to have to look at this issue even with greater focus. We do not have rescue centers here, so it's important also that the county government invest in rescue centers to make sure that we can deal with these issues. The